Her father became jealous of her and took her life. Judith Eva Barsi was a 10-year-old actress who you may remember from movies like The Land Before Time as the voice of Ducky.
What is your name?
Or in All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Goodbye, Charlie. I love you.
Judith was the daughter of two Hungarian immigrants, Joseph Barsi and Maria Barsi, who fled the Soviet occupation of Hungary and immigrated to Los Angeles. Maria, her mother, wanted to be an actress herself. On June 6, 1978, Judith was born. Her mother, hoping that she would follow in her footsteps, heavily guided her into the world of acting, encouraging her and helping her on the way. She beat a 10,000 to 1 odds at the age of 5.5 in 1983. When she was discovered at a San Fernando skating rink, they thought she was a 3-year-old. Her career soon took off. In her short time, she had appeared in 70 commercials and slowly started getting into movies.
Where's the lady who brings the soda? They had them on the big plane.
She started making over 6 figures for the family. So her parents decided to move into a beautiful home in Los Angeles. But even when things are going good for you, sometimes the people around you can ruin everything. You see, Judith's dad had started drinking heavily, and his anger started to increase. He started driving drunk and even making threats towards the family. But things became really scary when he started becoming really violent, physically violent. Judith's mom, Maria, would call the cops, but the police didn't really do anything because they had no real evidence that things were getting physical. So Maria found it a waste of time to even press charges and decided not to, which was her biggest mistake. See, Judith would get so scared that she would go to the neighbors and tell them that her father was getting so angry that he was throwing objects at her and her mother. He even started threatening to take their lives, saying that he would cut their throats. Joseph also never wanted his family leaving his sight, even going so far as to hide a message that was supposed to be for Maria, telling her that a family member in Hungary had died, to keep her from going to the funeral. The only thing that would save Judith from these horrible rants and physical violence was her work. Filming these movies was her break away from the darkness. But once she returned home, the violence would occur again. Her body weight strangely began to increase, and she started to do odd things like pull her eyelashes out as a coping mechanism. She eventually told her manager, Ruth Hansen, what was going on at home, and her manager took her to go see a child psychologist. The psychologist instantly knew something was going on. They noticed serious signs of abuse and instantly reported it to Child Protective Services. However, the investigation stopped because Maria, her mother, had told CPS that she was going to divorce her husband anyway, and that she was planning on moving out of her house very soon. You see, she had rented an apartment in Panorama City, in which her and Judith had been using to get away from Joseph when he was going off the rails. So the investigators believed her. But you see, Maria did this selfishly because she wanted to avoid anything that would take away her lifestyle. She was scared of losing everything she had, her house, her belongings. She had chose material things over the safety of her own daughter. On Wednesday, July 28th, 1988, just a few months after, Judith and her family were found dead. The police were called by the neighbors who heard gunshots moments before. Judith was riding her bike that day, taking a break from all the hard work she was doing on movies. And later that night, while sleeping, her father took his gun, went into her bedroom, and shot her in her head. He then took out Maria soon after. He then poured gasoline all over their bodies and lit them on fire. After doing so, he headed into the garage, took the gun, and ended his own life. A jealous alcoholic father who selfishly ruined the life and bright future of his own daughter. Check this video right here to see an actress whose biggest fan became her scariest stalker. Now this one is also a sad Hollywood story.